Okay, I've done quite a bit of work without videoing it, but here is the front firewall at the cowl. That's where that inner rocker flange goes. It's all cleaned up. I cut away a bit of the toe board so I could have access to the inside of the brace area, so I could properly clean it up and prep it, which I've done. I'm going to have to get or fab a replacement panel. No biggie there, but was able to clean up that surface so it's not simply buried and forgotten. Here I'll take you around to the inside and give you a little insight about how that outer rocker panel gets attached to that cowl shoulder. Hi, I thought I'd provide some clarity in terms of how this outer rocker fishes into the A-pillar and how it connects. So I'm shooting through the driver's side door towards the passenger side A-pillar. The outer rocker is the black steel. I have a clamp on in place. And you see the A-pillar and the flanges that stretch out to that bottom where the bolt is for the quarter. You see the flanges that snug in to that A-pillar brace, and then that long tongue that extends towards the vent. That's the piece that people have trouble fishing out because it's welded up into the door hinge brace, that big thick brace, welds to that tongue, that long extension. And there's also a flange that comes off the bottom of the vent that also connects. I'll take you around to the other side. That's that inner rocker. You see it spot welds or plug weld to the brace of the door hinge, and then the flanges overlap the bottom of the A-pillar, and then the inner gets plug weld to that cowl shoulder, the floor, and the like. Okay, quick update on the rocker panel replacement strategy. As you can see, I've opened up the toe board here, the panel that goes from the floor up to the firewall, in order to expose this firewall brace where the subframe attaches to. Been able to open that up and clean it out nice. Instead of fabbing a panel to fit and make it look factory and deal with those bead roll reveals and the like, and for what a patch panel costs, I've ordered a patch panel. So I'm basically on hold waiting for those patch panels to arrive. I did cut this along the median of that brace so that when I do go to weld in the patch, I can plug weld to the brace. That's a heavy gauge metal brace, and then I can also butt weld it to the remaining panel that's in great shape. So I'm waiting on that, and also I'll take you around to the rear inner quarter. Okay, here's the passenger side rear inner quarter. This is structural, but not a lot of structure here. Here, I'll add some contrast in. You can see there's not much left of this panel. It's rotten right from the tip of the door jamb. Big hole at the back where the inner wheelhouse attaches and the like, but luckily they make a patch panel for this structural area. It's heavier gauge steel. It's a key structural component, so I've ordered both left and right inner quarter panel patches. Take you around to the quarter. Okay, this is the passenger side door jamb. At the back, the rear quarter panel, you can see that rot from the inside continues on to the outer door jamb area. This is pretty flimsy metal, and what makes this problematic to fab a piece, these embossed areas, to make them look half decent, so your eye doesn't jump to them when you see them blank or the like. Best to replace the door jamb. The door jamb, unfortunately, you can only purchase as part of an overall rear quarter panel, a full quarter panel, or AMD does make a patch panel that does have the door jamb, but getting AMD panels to Winnipeg, Canada is problematic. And to patch this, you can see the state of this quarter panel. It was replaced in the early 80s when I restored this car the first time. Fortunately, a 16-year-old on fast food wage, working part-time while going to school. I couldn't afford the best body shop in the world. So I mean, the rear quarter panel was just welded to the rocker. There's no brace on the inside in terms of attaching it properly. This seam is so close to the body lines. You see big dents and gouges here that were just slathered with Bondo. It's pretty rough along this edge, and what complicates it as well, the seam is so close to this body line, so to put another patch panel and try and maintain a welded edge below that body line would be problematic. So I've ordered complete rear quarters, left and right, full quarter replacement. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. So basically I'm on hold with the rocker panel replacement until I get my quarter panels, the inner patch, the toe board patch panel, and the like, and then I'm ready to sort of line everything up. The other piece of the puzzle is the doors up on top of my shelving. That's the driver's side door. You see a big dent there that was just again covered with Bondo, and I opened it up because the Bondo had cracked, and you see what's underneath. So the passenger side door is in a little better condition, but a lot of waves to it. So I have ordered new door skins. The door hinges in their current state were pretty loose, lots of slop in them. So I'm not going to hang an old door and a crappy hinge to line up my new panels. I'll wait until I can reskin the door, rebuild the hinges, so that I have a the new door hung, align it to the new rocker, get everything sort of positioned where the body gaps look good before I commit to securing in that bottom rocker. Everything gets built off that rocker location, but I want to make sure I'm making those other fitments as pain-free as possible by zeroing in the location. If you guys have any better suggestions in terms of how to proceed, by all means. It's January. It's February 12th, 2021. If you happen to be watching this in the next few weeks, feel free to comment, lend your insight. But the strategy going forward is, of course, make those body panels true, patch those areas, and then I'm ready to move forward on the rocker. I think that's a pretty sound strategy. But in the meantime, I got this lovely shipment yesterday from my pals at Detroit Speed. Thanks, Matt Bellamy, I was working with to finalize an order. So next video, I'm going to walk you through some of the pros and cons. I'm going to share some of the decision making I went through and why I chose Detroit Speed. Not to sway anybody's opinion. What's right for me isn't necessarily right for you, but I'll share with you my thinking and why I decided to invest with Detroit Speed and make this a DSE build car. So I might want to check back in a few days, and I'll unbox this and show you what I got and let you know some of the thinking that went into going with Detroit Speed. Till then, cheers.